And you might expect a bitter man to emerge from this ordeal, but today, Brian Banks tells the world that this experience has made him stronger, more patient, and ultimately, a better man.
There comes a time when you have to let go in order to move on. The only thing I wasn't going to let go was this fight.
A 10-year fight backed by friends, family, and the California Innocence Project. A battle to show the court Brian Banks was wrongly accused and wrongly convicted. He was 16 years old, a top athlete with NFL dreams. It all dissolved after a classmate, 15-year-old Juanetta Gibson, passed a note to a friend claiming Banks raped her. It read in part, "He didn't have a condom on, and I was a virgin, now I'm not." Gibson won a $1.5 million lawsuit against the school. Banks got 5 years in prison, 5 years on parole, and a lifetime label as a sex offender. Until this moment, exoneration.
The people will concede the matter, Your Honor, and ask the court to grant the petition.
Right. Petition is granted.
The turnabout came after Banks' accuser asked to friend him on Facebook. He wanted much more, a confession, and he got it. Now, once more, he sets his sights on a football
Edmonton
career.
cab driver is suing 4 female passengers for accusations they made against him. The girls tried to accuse the man of sexual assault, a move he says could have ruined his life. Scott Frolick has more.
Soner Yesa actually had the camera hanging from his rearview mirror in his cab, had signs around the cab saying, "You are on camera, I am recording." Despite that, when the girls got into the cab outside a local bar, they started to want to smoke, which is illegal. Soner pointed that out and said, "You cannot light up, it'll be a $500 fine." There was some swear words thrown around. At that point, he got to the destination the girls wanted. It was a $13 fare. The girls said, "We're not going to pay." He threatened to call the police. That's when the girls said to the bystanders nearby that the cab driver had tried to assault them. They called police, but I want you to listen and watch the girls inside the cab. You can see some of the videotape for yourself. Here it is.
No, you. I'm not for you.
Now, after the police arrived at the scene, they talked with everybody involved, and that's when the cab driver said, "I've got tape of this incident. Come take a look." The police did. They looked at the tape, they reviewed the tape, and they said there would be no charges. They had no evidence of any kind of assault, sexual or otherwise here. There are no charges. But that's when Soner Yesa said, "Well, what about my reputation? Had I not had this tape," he told me, "I would have been probably charged. I would have lost my marriage. I could have lost and would have lost my job just based on the charges, no matter what happened after that." So he wanted the girls charged. Police decided, though, to close down the case, saying there wasn't enough evidence either way. So now he's looking for a civil remedy, and he is looking for $60,000 in damages from those girls.
Portland's Chief of Police, James Craig, says yesterday's false report of a sexual assault in the city will not affect the way the department investigates these crimes. Yesterday, police charged 22-year-old Marianne Morin with filing a false report after she recanted her story that she had been raped by 5 African-American men at Portland's Back Cove Trail. News Center's Caroline Cornish reports.
What was once a rape investigation is now a question as to why 22-year-old Marianne Morin, seen here in a picture on her Facebook page, would make up the story that she was the victim of a violent crime. Police Chief James Craig says he's still not sure, but he wants people to know that his department doesn't take a hoax like this lightly.
I was very disappointed, upset with that, only because we expend a lot of time, resources. The anxiety that it causes in a community is not necessary.
Morin has been charged with the misdemeanor crime of filing a false report. Still, the chief says he doesn't regret holding a press conference about the alleged assault before police had the facts. False reports of sexual assault are extremely rare.
I had the press conference because I feel an obligation and duty to report crime, especially serious crime, to the community. You need to know, the community needs to know.
And the chief wants real victims of sexual assault to understand that regardless of what happened in this case, his department will take all accusations of sexual assault seriously.
I view a sexual assault crime like I would a homicide. They're very violent, intrusive, and certainly I want the community to know, I want the victims to know that we take that crime very seriously.
Now you have to spend
the driver's license, and you told me that you didn't.
I didn't think that I did.
A police officer in Palm Beach, Florida, stops a female driver. Without ever getting out of the car, she is issued a traffic citation and heads off. But later, in a videotaped statement, she lodges serious charges against the officer.
Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
She accused him of taking her out of the car, frisking her, sexually assaulting her, and placing her back in the car.
When I stepped out of the car, he proceeded to frisk me on the sides, pat me on my chest up here, and then he fondled my breast. I believe it was fondling. I don't believe it was frisking. He patted me on my stomach all the way down and over my dress.
Yeah.
He caressed my vagina. I feel very, very, very violated.
In a second taped interview, the police inform her that the entire traffic stop was shot on videotape and give her an opportunity to change her statement, but she declines.
So what if I told you that I've seen the videotape of this incident in its entirety from the time that you were stopped to the time that you left the scene? Would that change any of your statement that you've just told me?
Yeah.
They then accused her, of course, of lying and making a false report to this incident. Finally, she admits that she lied, that she fabricated the story.
Why would you do something like this to somebody who didn't do anything to you except write your ticket?
I'll explain why. I would have been driving a Jaguar if I had been driving a Mercedes or anything along those lines. I would have never been stopped. And I personally think he had a personal attack on me because...
If it's not true, we need to know now, and we need to stop the progression of this whole thing from getting worse, because it's just going to get bigger and bigger.
And only on 7 News, this police interview with a Fort Collins woman. She was later convicted for making phony rape accusations, and the man she accused was arrested and put in jail 1 year ago today. Well, tonight, he is speaking to 7 News reporter Lindsay Watts about why he is still struggling to pick up the pieces.
It's definitely a reminder of what I've been through.
Accused of rape, cuffed at the police station the day before Thanksgiving.
I can ask you some questions regarding the crime of sexual assault.
Watching it back 1 year later, Dustin Toth says his life still feels out of control. His accuser, Catherine Bennett, a co-worker he'd started dating.
And right now, the statements that I've been given do not match evidence.
This is exclusive video of her police interview. As Toth sat in jail, her story fell apart.
I'm not telling you to drop charges. I want to know the facts about what happened.
Bennett later convicted of making it all up. She was sentenced to 35 days in jail, then an ankle monitor and probation.
I don't feel that's justice.
Toth says he's the one who's been punished. The Army National Guardsman lost his civilian job and was out of work for nearly 6 months after the arrest.
I've been behind on my car payment ever since.
He has his friends, but the emotional pain is still there.
I feel like I'm incapable to actually trust a woman again.
He says it's telling his story that's helping him heal.
Giving me the opportunity to share it gives me the opportunity to clear my name, because I still feel like my name is not cleared.
Lindsay Watts, 7 News.
Courier is demanding an apology after he was wrongfully accused in the attack. News Center 5's Rondella Richardson tells us why it's up to him if he wants his name removed from documents linking him to that case.
This could have been prevented.
The 26-year-old tax accountant wrongfully accused would have to go to court to have charges expunged from his record, as Ross Courier is still waiting for a formal apology from law enforcement. He's fighting for his reputation. Police arrested him last month for a sexual assault in the North End within minutes after the victim mistakenly told police he was her attacker. His attorney says he wasn't questioned and went right to jail.
We got them down there in short order, and the suspect was taken into custody.
Today, police won't comment on apologizing, only saying for the district attorney to drop the charges speaks for itself.
I have a professional license to practice in my industry. That was almost taken from me at 26. Don't you consider that a bit of a death sentence?
Yet his name is far from clear.
Google it, see what you find.
Justine Griffin is a crisis and reputation manager.
His background check's not going to come up good. Now that he has some profile,
he should be thoughtful about what he can do about causes that he cares about and be associated with them publicly. You know, and it could even be something like people who are wrongly accused. And over time, search results will show him and his name affiliated with that.
Legal experts say Currier could sue, claiming civil rights violations. That's never easy, but still an option.